So you break up with your ex, but there's still a lot of emotional attachment. Now, this is normal. However, this video is going to help you to break the attachment, the emotional string, the emotional tethering with your ex. I'm Lisa, the love coach. Before I get into the content, you can stop this video at any time and head on over to my website, lovequestcoaching.com, to get your free love life assessment. And it is not done by AI, it is done by me. You fill out a form, you share everything that's going on, the questions that you have. I look it over directly and I come back to you with a report, a full report on email. So you can print it out, you can bring it to your therapist, you can sit around the table and chat with your girlfriends about it, but you're going to have clarity. That is the key, right? So you head on over to lovequestcoaching.com for that. Okay, so how to break an emotional attachment with your ex. So for one thing, you are going to practice self-care. You're going to have patience and kindness and compassion with yourself, right? You're gonna be nice to yourself. This is self-love 101 because you're hurting, right? Obviously, if the relationship was insignificant, it wouldn't have lasted as long as it did. You wouldn't have learned all you learned, and you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in feeling this emotional tethering to this person, right? So you want to, number one, allow yourself the peace, the space to grieve, right? Give yourself the permission to feel sad that this relationship is no longer, and furthermore, grieve the future that you were hoping for. This is a very important thing, right? Because a lot of times we break up with people, we end relationships with people, we get divorced, and we think we're okay. I thought we wanted this. Maybe it's amicable. But it all of a sudden hits you very emotionally that you both were connected with an idea of a future that is now no longer going to be. So it creates a bit of an upheaval and a lot of anxiety around what is unknown. You're building a whole new life for yourself. And one of the things that I help people with is going from that breakup into the new identity, into the new version of you, where you are now creating a whole new life, right? So I had to go through this. I have a whole example of how I did it, so you can do it too. I share it with my coaching clients. I'm going to do a video on my own reinvention process so that other people can learn from it, so stay tuned for that. That's why you have to hit the subscribe and the bell notification so that when I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, you will get the ding, ding, ding invitation to come see the new video. The second thing that you're going to do when you are breaking an emotional attachment with an ex is you're going to set boundaries. This is huge. This is a biggie. Meaning, you might want to have assistance in accountability when it comes to blocking them on social media. You do not want to be keeping tabs on what it is that they're doing and becoming obsessed over what they are doing in their lives, right? You want to turn the focus onto yourself. You want to just be totally giving yourself the care that you need at this point. Looking at your ex's social media, even continuing communication, right? Now, for the people out there who break up and, oh, but I still want to be friends, we shouldn't lose the friendship. You cannot be friends right away. You need space, you need time to process the relationship, to look after yourself, to create new boundaries for how, if at all, that friendship is going to happen, right? So this whole let's be friends thing, not good. Now, for the people out there who have to set healthy boundaries because they perhaps are co-parenting with their ex, they have children in common, therefore they are always going to be tethered to them as parents, right? You're both parents, you have a tethering together as parents to those children. So the boundaries that you can put forth are things like, we only discuss the kids. So that when you are trying to move on with your life and you're going through this process and they want to know things about your personal life, those conversations are off limits. So if you are out there watching this and you know someone, or you are potentially dealing with a divorce and you have children in common and there might be some manipulation there, let's connect, because this is much deeper. Start off with the free love life assessment. There you can get the clarity that you need to navigate this, because it's very important. The third thing that you want to do is reflect on the relationship. So really think about the relationship and why it ended specifically. What was the real disconnect? Now, a lot of people out there don't know, right? They lack closure. And so their minds are spinning and they're constantly overthinking, replaying all the different parts of the relationship and asking themselves, what went wrong? I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. So if you're going through that, you probably want to have a reality check with really what was going on in the relationship. Because a lot of times it is normal for people to get kind of into romantic fantasy brain, romanticizing the relationship, making it better than what it truly was. And then they say that they're so blindsided when the relationship ends, when in actuality there were signs that it was ending all along. So you want to have clarity on that for sure, and I can help you with that. So in the time of reflection, yes, it is common for people to just look at the good times. Oh, but there was so much good there. That's wonderful, right? Cherish those good times. But the fact of the matter is that there were bad times. And those are the times that led to the breakup. And it is possible that both of you had to come together for a particular reason to teach each other certain things. So explore what lessons did the relationship teach you. And then when you are ready to date again, you're going to communicate those lessons. You're not going to be dating from a place of still in it and sad and lonely and pissed off and all of this, where now you're going on a date and you're expressing all of that. It's too soon. So allow time to reflect on the relationship and really get to your truth and your sense of it, so that you can continue forward in your life and you can sever that emotional attachment. Because a lot of people say, I don't have closure, I don't even know why it ended, and they're still connected, tethered, energetically especially, to that ex. Number 4, you're going to remove any triggers, anything that's going to set you off, meaning gifts, photos, places that you went to together. Don't go to those places thinking you're going to run into each other. Like, don't play that game. You want to now do new things. So one of the things that I encourage my clients to do is, this is opportunity. Think of all of the things that you wanted to do with your ex and they didn't want to do it. Certain restaurants. Oh, I don't want to try that place. Certain, concerts, things that you wanted to do, book signings, events, whatever your thing is, you now have the freedom to do it. So go do those things. Make a list of all the friendships, all the people that you want to reconnect with, right? So one of the things that I had a client do, she wrote down all of her friends that she missed so much in being in this relationship. It's like this guy's world and all of his friends became her friends. And then when the relationship ended, she was just like a feather in the breeze. She had no idea where to go with her life. And she came to me for coaching, and I encouraged her to make a long list of people she might want to go visit, right? Get a list together. Do you have cousins that you haven't seen in a while? Other family members you haven't seen in a while? Friendships from grammar school. She ended up reconnecting on Facebook with a girl that she met when she was 6 years old. And they reconnected, found each other. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to do a weekend and I'd love to come see you. And the girl's like, perfect. Come see me. They had the best time, right? She saw a city that she never went to. All the things that she wanted to do that the boyfriend was like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it. She got to do all these things. And it set her mind moving forward in her life. She started to have plans for her life. Why? Because she stopped going to the places that were triggering her and stopped looking at the old cards and the notes and the this and the that. And she said, no, I'm going to put this all in a box. I'm going to put the box in the back of my closet, and someday I'll figure out what to do with it, but I cannot look at this. And so she removed all of the triggers. Number 5, take good care of yourself. I'm talking eating, taking your vitamins, exercising, all of the basic things. When I was in the shit pit of breakup, divorce, all of this. I couldn't eat. My stomach locked up. When I get very anxious and nervous and I have turmoil in my life, my stomach locks up and I lose my appetite. I dropped 13 pounds in 3 weeks. And I called it the breakup diet because I was trying to make light of it, but I was really scared because I couldn't eat. So I had to really force myself to eat. I had to be like, when can I eat? And typically I had issues eating in my house. It was a very weird PTSD kind of deal. And so I realized, if I go out with my dog and I go somewhere to grab a bite, I feel better. So let's just do that. So however way I had to take care of myself, I had to make sure that I was putting myself first and my well-being first. So it's really scary when you can't sleep through the night because you're having night panics in your sleep. And when you can't eat during the day, you're going to drop weight. And also your nervous system is all jacked out too. So if you are into like yoga or deep breathing, a lot of things that helped me were right here on YouTube. I did sound frequency meditations, other meditations that I actually created a curated folder for my clients that I share with them. So it's very helpful. All these tools exist. You don't have to go spending thousands and thousands of dollars. It's right here on YouTube. You just have to be a little resourceful and figure out ways to really take care of yourself. Get into a routine. That was another thing that helped me a lot. In the morning, I remember back then, I would take the dog, go for a walk, beautiful sunshine. I lived in Miami, Florida at the time. I would go, I would grab some food, either take it from my fridge and take it with me and sit and right by the bay. I lived right by Biscayne Bay, so I'd sit and I'd eat and dog would be with me, and it just made me feel better. So make your priority feeling good and in a constructive way, right? You don't want to do sabotaging things, unhealthy things, thinking you're feeling good, but really it's an escape. So you don't want to do that. So number 6, build new connections. Start focusing on your personal growth. Start focusing on getting around different types of people. One of the things that helped me so much when I was in the shit pit of my life, 2015, I was really intent on getting into personal development. I wanted to heal. I wanted to heal fast. I was taking courses on codependency, courses on nutrition, because remember I told you I couldn't eat. So I was like, okay, I have to get my appetite back. I did a lot of stuff with Dr. Joe Dispenza, who you can find also here on TikTok and on YouTube. Amazing. Read books. What else? And when I did all of these seminars and all these different things, I met people there. So it's interesting when you go to places where you're bettering yourself, workshops, seminars, etc., and you start to put yourself around other people who also want to do the same. They want to better themselves. They're there to get over something or to, better themselves. You meet them and then you have kind of new people. And then they tell you about, hey, they do sunset yoga at blah, blah, blah park. Do you want to come? It's beautiful. We all do yoga in the sunset. It's great. And you're like, sure, I'll go. And you're just meeting new people. That's the key. You want to, make those new connections and really get around people who are reinforcing you and rooting for you, right? And people that you feel support from and you feel that you can confide in. 7, practice mindfulness. So sometimes when you're emotionally attached to somebody, you will ruminate. And that rumination is just constantly thinking. It's like monkey mind of thinking about your past, thinking about your ex. Why did things go the way they go? Notice you're in the past, or you'll have ruminating thoughts about the future. I'm never going to meet anybody. How am I going to meet somebody? I gave 3 years of my life to this and I thought we were going to get engaged and then it ended up not happening. Or 20 years of marriage and all these kids and this whole life. And now what am I going to do in retirement? Like those ruminating thoughts, either of the past or of the future. The key is to be mindful of the now. So one of the things that is super helpful is a little technique where you engage your senses. So when you catch yourself thinking of the past and wallowing in the past or freaking out about the future, you can catch yourself and say, oh, I'm here now. I smell the perfume from my bathroom. I taste my drink, my lemonade drink that I just had. I hear the hum of the air conditioner. I see my camera doing this video. I touch, what do I touch? I feel my sweatpants, snuggy, nice, and warm. So you're gonna go through each one of your senses, and that automatically brings you into the present moment. So that was something that was very helpful, especially for people who get into panic and get into almost like an anxiety attack. This is a way for you to get super grounded into the moment. And another thing that helps while doing this is just put your hands on your chest and just breathe as you're doing this, just to kind of regulate your nervous system. Number 8, seek therapy or support. Oh my goodness, in 2015, when I was in the deep shit pit of my life, I had the sleeping issues. I had the freaking out because I couldn't eat. So I saw that it was affecting my health, and I wanted an answer. I wanted to understand what was actually happening to me. So I got in touch with a therapist that was recommended to me from another friend of mine who was going through divorce at the time. And she gave me her name, and I was like blown away. One session, and she was able to give me the magic word, codependency. Look into codependency. And she said, look into inner child work as well, because she was mentioning what happened when I was a child, how I was raised, the many people around me, albeit all loving and coming from a place of love. They were different personalities, a lot of moods, a lot of different things happening all at once. And as an only child, it was very overwhelming to me. And I kind of navigated it from a survival mode, but I was very hyper vigilant about the mood and the well-being of other people. So that was what was impacting me later in my marriage and subsequent in my divorce. So I got in touch with this therapist, and she gave me the word codependency. And once I got that word, I went to YouTube, Amazon, bought books, got all in it. Like, that's how I am. I'm very, as you can see, books on my bookshelf. I am always problem solving, solution seeking. That is the root of my coaching. I love working with people who are committed to finding solutions, to going all in on themselves, to fully commit to themselves, their well-being, their future growth, right? What they want for their future, the great life that they get to create. People who are all on that train, I am with you. I see you. I support you. Let's do this, right? Because you don't want to be wallowing in this, connection, this tethering that you have to this ex. You want to create this amazing future, the you who's, 5 years into the future living this amazing life. And so allow this time, make the most of this time, take a year even to not date anyone and just focus wholeheartedly on your own healing. And trust me when I tell you, I look at 10 years ago, it's almost 2015. Yeah, this is exactly 10 years ago. And as you can tell, I'm married again. I have a ring on my finger, beautiful home, great marriage, fun, all the things. And there was a lot of work that I had to do in order to go from being in a marriage as a little kid with all the woundedness of my childhood, right? All the perceptions that I had about myself and how I thought a marriage was supposed to be, versus entering a relationship as an adult, right? A woman, a marriage-minded woman, right? With total respect for the marriage, right? And maturity. So that was one of the things that going through coaching, mentors, support through therapy. And granted, I only did therapy for 90 days. I went for 12 sessions. So once I really understood and got all of the information about why I was the way I was, then I went to a life coach to help me then apply everything I learned in therapy to my life. And then it was great. So from there, and that was actually what inspired me to become a life coach. I saw how I was changing and transforming, and I shared my message about everything I was doing on social media. And then people started to want to talk to me and ask me questions about what I was doing. And they were going through similar. So then I would talk to them, and then they wanted to pay me eventually. I didn't even have a PayPal account. I had nothing. And no way. I was like, I don't know. I do marketing. I don't know how to do this. And lo and behold, that's how life is. When you go through a challenge, who knows? It could end up becoming your calling. right? Your way of helping people. So you don't know. Number 9, and the final one, right? Give yourself time, right? Everybody is going to get over their ex in their own time, right? Don't rush yourself. Don't beat yourself up because, oh, it's 6 months later. I should be totally broke. I should be totally over this. This is ridiculous. Don't talk badly about your heart, right? This is very significant, right? This type of breakup where it's a real significant breakup, it deserves the care and compassion, right? Like, granted, you don't want to wallow, you want to do cool shit in your life, so you start moving forward. You still have things positive, having a fun time in your life. However, if there's a friend saying, I have a guy for you, or I got this girl at my job for you, and you're just not feeling it, your heart is kind of on the mend right now. You're not ready to give your heart to somebody. Give yourself that time. Don't rush into anything new. Don't believe the old adage, oh, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone. None of that business. None of that. That is not the way to go. So I'm hopeful that this helped you. I gave you 9. I have many more videos to come, of course. Thank you so much for subscribing and telling others about me on YouTube. I appreciate that. And feel free again to head on over to lovequestcoaching.com to get your free love life assessment. Thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.